Welcome, fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic 90s nerds to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where, yeah, we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, and sometimes we just do random videos like today's video, which I'm gonna try not to edit too much because I've got frickin' COVID. Oh no, it frickin' sucks. So I'm not feeling the best right now. It's kind of weird because 2 days ago I was feeling really good, 2 nights ago at least. Thursday night, I said, oh, I feel better, I think I'm on the mend, and then Friday morning, I said, oh god, I don't feel good again. Like, I feel worse than I did last night, what the hell, what is going on? It's like a seesaw. But apparently I've heard from other people that that's kind of normal, but, you know, I don't know. Anyway, it's my first time getting COVID, and it sucks, and I hope, you know, nobody has to deal with this, because it sucks, but I know a lot of people have already dealt with it, so I'm sorry if you have, because it's not fun. So today, this video is a mixture of a weekly reading update, a mini book haul, and a Halloween haul, all in one, and I'm not gonna edit it too much. So please excuse me, I'm in my pajamas. It's a Nickelodeon shirt. It's got a bone. Anyway, it's like a logo t-shirt. And I'm disheveled, and it is what it is. Join in for the ride, the sickness ride. I just thought, why not make a video? Because I never got to show these cool little goodies that I got. So first, I'll start off with the haul. I'll put a timestamp for when I start to give my weekly reading update. I don't usually do that, but I actually read some books that I'm really excited to talk about that I don't want to wait to talk about till my frickin' wrap-up that won't even come till October. So anyway, I'm gonna talk about them. I don't care. I'm breaking all the rules. But I just wanted to show you some of these cute little bookmarks I got. Now, I want to say this is from a really talented artist who has a cool store that you should support because I love all these little cute Halloween things. But anyway, look at the pumpkins. Look at them. My focus. Let me fix the focus here. Look! Oh my god, look! So cute, so awesome, and now I'm out of focus. This is gonna be wonderful. This is gonna be marvelous. I want a new camera so bad. I want a real camera that the focus isn't crap all the time and going in and out. I deal with that with my phone all the time, and I've done the thing where you can like fix the focus, but it doesn't work when I want to do close-ups. So it's all not very helpful and handy. But here we have another bookmark, and look how cool this is, guys. So this side's black and white, and this side's white and black with little pops of orange. So look at the cute little tassel. Oh, isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen? I know it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I love it. All right, so this is from the store. I want to make sure I get it right, so I have it right over here. It's from Lydia Jean Art. Here is her shop name here and logo. Isn't that cute? Little postcard. Keep it spooky. That came with my order. How cute. Look at these little pumpkins and the ghosts. Oh my god, so cute. Next up, a little Jason. Oh, look how cute he is. He's adorable. Because I was born on the Friday the 13th, not the Friday the 13th, on a Friday the 13th. I really like a lot of Friday the 13th type of decorations, except the movies aren't my favorite. I really much prefer the slasher Halloween, but it is what it is. These cutie ghosties haunting a graveyard. Oh, look at him, he's laughing and he's all super cute and he's like, I'm angry. I don't know, but anyway, I love this. And then there's like little candles and like a little seance. Here is a mummy hugging a pumpkin. This is my kind of stuff, I gotta tell you. I love cutie little things like this. All of those were magnets, and these are magnets as well. So you already saw the cutie Jason, but Michael Myers, Leatherface, and Freddy. He's got a pillow, I think. Cute. Super adorable. Look at the, oh no, the pumpkin is dead. Next up, from the same store, yet again, all of this is from Lydia Jean Art. These are custom post-it notes. Aren't they the cutest? I will definitely use these for a lot of things, not just notes. Another magnet. Look at this. It's a ghost with a pizza, and there's skulls on the pizza. I got this art print. Look how adorable. It's all these different pumpkins. Here's a snake wrapped around a pumpkin. Here's an angry pumpkin. Here's a pumpkin with a spider hanging, another snake, a crow. There's mice, a frog, Oh, and there's a black cat, and another black cat, and another black cat, another crow. Just all these different pumpkins with different demeanors. She threw this one in for free, I believe. Look at this moon with the bats. And it's a vampire moon. And vampire bats. And last but not least from her store, it's a taboo list instead of a to-do list. This, I was so excited, I said I need it. It's actually quite small. If you look at it, like, it's the size of my hand, so it's quite tiny. But I really absolutely love it. Next up, some books I bought recently. I splurged and got this for, it was expensive-ish, but it was still a reasonable price compared to what I usually see it for. Saw it on eBay, snagged it. This is The Halloween Mice by Richard Lehman. It was one of my, like, goals this year to get this book, and with Halloween on the corner, I couldn't help myself. I said, I'm gonna treat myself and buy this book because I love mice. I had pet mice, and the whole idea of it being Halloween-themed, and also the intrigue of a Richard Lehman children's book. Anyway, I needed to have it. I had to have it. So I'm so excited. I'm gonna add this to my Halloween or October TBR. So this you'll be seeing again in other videos, but look how adorable. I blame this purchase on It Came From the Page. Check out his YouTube channel. Fantastic, super knowledgeable about vintage horror and a lot of other things. He said not all crossovers are bad. I don't know what crossovers. Crossovers are bad. So this is an X-Men, Star Trek TNG crossover book, and he read this and said it was actually quite fun, really good. So I'm looking forward to it. I had to buy it. Planet X. I am super intrigued, and I cannot wait to read this at some point. I don't know when, but yes, I'm going to read it for sure. Next up, I'm really excited about this because I'm already starting to kind of get ideas for my Christmas horror movie list. I always have a movie marathon. Oh, I got sweat on this already. So this is A Scary Little Christmas, history of Yuletide horror films from 1972 to 2020. This is by Matthew C. Dupuy, and it is awesome, but it was way too expensive. So if you look for this, you'll see that it's super expensive on Amazon, and it's a newer book. I think it just got published. Let's see. I'm too sick to really figure this out. Yes, 2022, the copyright, so pretty new. And I just wanted to see what this had to say. This does have pictures, but I'm kind of bummed that they're in black and white. I would have loved the pictures being in color. And I thought maybe the price tag was so high because it had colored pictures, but no. So that is the big disappointment. However, it looks like there's so much great content in here because he interviewed a lot of filmmakers and a lot of production people involved in a lot of these Christmas movies. The only thing I do wish, like, he had a list of ones that he actually recommends, because he says he wants to go through, like, good and bad ones, and there's a ton of bad Christmas horror movies. And I've discovered this firsthand, but there's also a handful of amazing, underrated Christmas horror movies, so, which I've seen quite a few of. I hope I haven't seen all that there is to see in terms of good horror movies that are Christmas set or Christmas related. So anyway, I'm gonna dig into this come December, and also beforehand, trying to plan my Christmas horror movie watching list. Christmas Evil is still my favorite Christmas horror movie. It's not a slasher, and it's more psychological, and it's more of like a sad examination of a man and his descent into madness, kind of. Anyway, it's amazing. I love Christmas Evil quite a bit, and I'm so excited to own this, but I would say don't go out and run and buy a copy, because I'm hoping the price will definitely go down in the future. Next up, I am so humbled and grateful. Hunter, who runs Robert McCammon's website, sent me a package, asked me for my address, said, I'd like to send you something if it's okay. And he sent me a signed Robert McCammon bookmark, and this is like an old school bookmark that he printed. So him and Robert McCammon are friends, but he also runs the website, runs Robert McCammon's Facebook, and he deals with a lot of stuff like that. So anyway, I have this hanging up on my bookshelf now because I was so floored when I opened up the package and saw this at the very top. And also, he sent me 2 books. And so he sent me a hardcover copy of The Listener, which is more of a later McCammon work. After he stopped writing and he came back and wrote more, he released Listener as one of his newer books after he took this long hiatus. So this is Boy's Life. This is my favorite book by Robert McCammon so far. I've actually read 4 books so far since July. This was my first, Boy's Life in July, and since then I've read a lot more. And I'm actually on my 5th Robert McCammon book right now, which is They Thirst. So the cool thing, I already had a hardcover of Boy's Life, but this one is freaking signed. So thank you so much for sending that to me, Hunter. This is so special. I'm gonna treasure it forever because I can't believe it's signed. Anyway, I'm so ecstatic about owning those and over the moon, and I teared up when I opened the package. By the way, during the Halloween part of the haul, I forgot to show you this. This is from Walgreens. I went to my Walgreens and I didn't see hardly any Halloween stuff, and I just assumed they didn't have it out yet because the aisle was kind of empty. I go to check this out, and the guy at the register was like, oh, that's cool. We had like our Halloween section stocked up 2 days ago, but people swarmed in and bought everything. I'm like, what? So it was already set up, and this is like after 2 days, it was completely empty. And he's like, yeah. Oh, like, oh God. So I kind of missed whatever Walgreens had, except I did find this, which I like, and it could just sit on my bookshelf or something. Okay, and now for my weekly update. Even though I don't usually do this, I thought it would be fun. Whatever. Make this video, like, kind of unique and full of different things. Alright, the first book of this month that I read was Harvest Home. I read this. I'm actually reading this for 2 different book clubs. My own book club, which is like a personal book club. It's not open to the public. My friend Kat helps run it, and it's just like a small group of people on Facebook. And then my friend Kelly over at Kelly Hooked on Books, her book club, the From Hell book club. This is their pick. This is a super slow burn, but is the ending worth it? Hell yes, I loved this book. I loved it so much more than I thought. I gave this a 4.5 star rating. I'm going to round it up for Goodreads, and I just love the character development. So we've got the city couple and their daughter. They have started to want to move out into the country, so they're looking for a nice house. They find this out of the way town just by accident in Connecticut, and they decide, okay, let's see if we can move there. They inquire about the house. They say, I don't think anyone's going to want to sell you this house. But later they get a call because they leave their number, and the people are interested in selling the city folk their house. So they move to this small little place, and it's a very odd way of life. They've got a lot of customs that they are very strict about. They are obsessed with all these things that they want to do to make sure the harvest is good every year. They've got all these traditions and ceremonies and all of this and that to make sure that they appease Mother Earth and, you know, make sure the harvest is good. So stuff comes into play with that, and this trope now, it's almost become like a subgenre of horror, like folk horror, but you could probably guess what happens at the end, but I gotta say, I loved this book. Parts of this book stuck with me, especially the ending, and I just really felt like I knew the town. I felt like I knew the characters, and just, if you like a good slow burn with great characters, really beautiful writing, then I would suggest this, because this was wonderfully written, and this is the second book in just 2 months that I've read by Thomas Tryon. I actually read Night of the Moonbow back in August? Yes, because this is what I read for September. I'm getting mixed up with my days. Well, anyway, Night of the Moonbow was good. It was beautifully written, and I did get connected to the characters much like I did with this, but I did like this much better. I just think there was more horror in this, and just a very unsettling feeling throughout the whole time of reading, like you know something's gonna go amiss, and that's what this was like for sure. So I highly recommend it if you can handle a slow burn, and if you like good characters. Next up, I reread My Best Friend's Exorcism in preparation of the movie coming out, because I do plan on watching the movie with my great friend Kat. I don't think we're going to be able to watch it the day it comes out, which is going to be so difficult because I know people will be talking about it right after the day it comes out. So I'll have to be careful that I don't get spoilers. And I mean, I know the story, but I don't want to hear like, oh, they did this differently, or this happened, or the acting's bad. Like, I don't want to hear anything. So I'm a little nervous because I don't know the exact day Kat and I are watching. We did have a few days penciled in that we could hang out together and possibly watch it, but one's kind of like 10 days after the movie comes out. So anyway, I'm nervous about that, but I'm excited to see it. At the same time, a little hesitant because I don't want to get too hyped for it, because I just hope that they do the book justice. So I read this 2 years ago before I started a booktube channel. My YouTube was covering other things, and I was actually on a YouTube hiatus at that point. So I never really got to talk about this on my channel ever, but at the time, this book really blew me away, and it's the first book I ever read by Grady Hendrix, and I knew right away that I wanted to read more. And even after reading the Paperbacks from Hell book, I also read Southern Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I read the Final Girl Support Group. After all of those, this one's still my favorite, and Paperbacks from Hell is probably like close to a second favorite, and that's a totally different kind of book since it's nonfiction. But yes, I remember one particular scene quite well, and it stuck with me. Worms, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know. Anyway, it's just the grossest scene in the whole book. So that one I never forgot, but other little aspects of the story I did forget. So I actually heard on Katrina's YouTube channel, check out her channel, Katrina Brown. She was re-listening to this last month, and she said it was free right now with an Audible subscription. So if you have Audible, can't speak. If you have Audible, it's automatically there for you to listen to. And I do have Audible, and so I'm like, hell yeah. So I decided it wasn't like part of my TBR for September, but on a whim I said, I'm gonna re-listen to it. And since I was sick with COVID, I said it'd be easy because I already know the story somewhat, and I remember a lot of it, but this will be like a nice listen and a relaxing thing to do while I'm sick. So the few times I did listen and read, it was while I was kind of laying in bed, sick and stuff. I still had to work all this week, which kind of sucked, but luckily I work from home. So at least I could like rest in between doing stuff, but this was so enjoyable. It was even more enjoyable the second time around. So I had no idea how to rate books after the first time I read this. I think I gave it a 4.5. And then the more I thought about it, like throughout that year, I rounded up to a 5. And I was like, it's really more of a 5. But the second time around, I know for sure it's a 5-star read for me. And it's one of my favorite books that I've ever read. So like this, Boy's Life, those are two of my favorite books ever. And I've got more favorite books, but this is definitely in like a top 10 of all time for me. I love this book. And I really love the way Katrina on her channel recently described this. Like, she said it's the most hallmark type of horror story you'll ever read. And that is so true. It's a perfect and completely accurate description. I've never heard a more appropriate description for this book. So it's the absolute perfect way to describe it, to be honest. Yeah, there's like some cheesy like friendship stuff at the end, but that's why I love it, actually. I just think it's such a powerful message about friendship and how strong friendship can be, and it can overcome so much. And I don't know, anyway, the end makes me cry. It made me cry 2 times, the first time I ever read it and when I listened to it this time around. So the first time I read it with my eyes 2 years ago, and this time I listened and read along, and oh, it was such a wonderful experience. I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't read it ever, you've got to read it. It's so good, so much fun, and I love a good possession story, so I'm into like the possession subgenre of horror. I just never get to read as much of it as I want. Like, I have to read more of possession horror because it's just always ends up being one of my favorite things. All right, and finally, I was provided this awesome copy from Anthony Rapino, and also this is also written by Anthony D. Great. I feel like the back of the book kind of makes it clear that Rapino ghost wrote this book for Great. So it was Great's idea, but like a lot of the writing comes from Anthony Rapino. So anyway, I just finished this last night and I really enjoyed it. If you like a good coming of age story, you'll like this. It's not a horror book. However, so the book starts in summer, but it actually goes through Halloween, and a lot of the story, the main action of the story, really takes place over Halloween weekend. So you get lots of descriptions sprinkled throughout the book about Halloween weekend and Halloween decorations and candy and costumes and just the atmosphere and also the weather. So, you know, fall breeze and autumn leaves and great stuff that I love. So yes, it has you covered for Halloween vibes. However, it is more about comic books, and so if you like stuff that has to do with superheroes and comic books and kind of like a science fiction type of fantasy little sprinkle in there, because I feel like it is kind of sci-fi-ish, because we're dealing with like machines, robots, and crazy characters, like superhero type of characters. And our main character, Tommy, he is really relatable. He gets bullied, like a lot of coming-of-age stories, you know, kid growing up, getting bullied. But this kid just seems even more alone than a lot of other characters I read. Usually it's a group of losers getting bullied. I say losers in a loving way because I was one of those kinds of kids, so no judgment at all. But this kid's kind of on his own and going through a lot of stuff, and he has to try to figure out his life and how to get through all these hard times he's going through. And that's where his imagination comes into play. Or is it just his imagination? That's part of the question. Anyway, great vibes, great message, wonderful ending. The ending was really heartfelt. Really great parts to this, and like the Halloween imagery really elevated this for me too. So I loved that. It was perfect for this time of year. And yeah, I think this would be great if you're an adult who likes middle grade reads, and not just horror reads, like, it's gotta be, you like more than horror books. So if you just like horror, you might not like this, but if you like a multitude of genres, then you would like this. And if you're okay with reading middle grade, I think you'd like this too. And I think an actual kid who's in the middle grade type of years would love this. I feel like this is super relatable, very easy to get into, and a lot of fun, and great messaging, like I said. So I give this a really decent rating of 4 stars because I had a good time with this. And thank you so much, Anthony, for sending me this copy. And he actually sent me a whole box of goodies, so like promotional goodies, which I haven't had a chance to share yet on camera, and I should have had it in this room to share, but I will share during my actual full wrap-up, which will be next month sometime. I'll release my September wrap-up. But yeah, this is the last thing I read so far in September. And finally, I just started last night. I'm only like 3 pages in because I got so tired last night and I wiped out. I also took ZQL and I was like, I need to sleep. So the ZQL was kicking in and that's why I didn't get further. This is The Amulet by Michael McDowell, and it is my book club pick for the month of September. So if you guys are interested, please read along. I've got a Discord that's linked below where we can chat about the book as we read, but also I'm going to be doing a live show, and this is a big announcement. My friend, who I mentioned already once in this video, Katrina Brown, over at the channel Katrina Brown, she is going to be co-hosting the live show with me. And the live show will take place sometime in October, but Katrina is actually co-hosting a big readathon, so I'm going to see what her schedule is like and try to do whatever day or night is good for her. So stay tuned for the date, but just know that if you're going to read it, or if you've already read it, join me and Katrina to talk about it during our live show. I'm so excited she agreed to do it. I'm very excited. Alright, anyway, so just a couple of pages I read, it ended with a really gory part. It was like the prologue, I think. And already the end of the prologue, I was like, damn! It was already going there, already bloody, and Katrina did say it's like a buckets of blood type of read. So I am excited to continue this, and that's what I'll be doing today. While Paul, my boyfriend, watches football, I will be in bed reading this, and who knows what else. I also might dip back into They Thirst, because I have that on audio as well as on my Kindle, and so that might be easier right now while I'm not feeling good. So I might do that. And I had a big breakfast. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm excited to film and to catch up with you guys. And thank you so much to everyone who sent me well wishes, because I did make a post saying I wasn't going to release a video this week on Thursday, which I didn't. But I said it was because of COVID, and it made it I forgot what it's called, like an expiring post, and so I didn't get a chance to respond to comments before it went away. It like archived it, and now I can't respond to the comments or unarchive it. So anyway, anyone who left a comment, thank you so much. I know I saw Mr. Morningstar, Crystal, Elizabeth, thank you all so very much. Amber, Amy Noel, Katrina, so many people left a little sweet message on there. I mean, so many people, like, I didn't even get to see all of them. I mean, I could see them on my archive. I just can't respond to them. So thank you. So just know I'm not ignoring you and your well wishes. I'm very appreciative, and I saw them. I just cannot respond to them because of dumb YouTube. It's not my fault, but I really wish I could respond. Anyway, anyone who's reached out in addition to the post, even more afterwards, thank you so much. It means the world to me. And I am feeling a little better. My spirits are high. It's just, you know, my head is congested right now a lot, and it sucks. So my boyfriend also has COVID, so we're not having to go in separate rooms or anything like that, or stay apart from each other. I don't have to be, you know, sectioned off in my room or anything like that. He actually got symptoms before me, and he didn't think it was COVID. He thought it was a cold, and then I started getting sick over last weekend. So this is like the freaking, God, the 6th day, or maybe the 7th day of symptoms for me. It's been bad. So he didn't think it was COVID or anything, but when I started getting sick, I was like, okay, I'm getting the cold too. Then I woke up from a nap and I was like feeling nauseous. And I was like, this is weird. I don't usually get like nauseous with a cold. I mean, sometimes with the nasal drip, I have gotten nauseous before, but not like this. So anyway, I said, maybe I should take a COVID test. So I took it, and right away, like, they say to wait 15 minutes in case the line, you know, doesn't show up right away, the line that tells if you have COVID or not. The line showed up lightly for me right away. Then Paul was like, I guess I should take one. And his showed up dark right away. So he really had it. And he actually just took another test yesterday and still is positive, like, right away. Like, within a minute of putting the sample on there, the line was there saying you had COVID right away. So I didn't even bother testing. I'm like, I'm definitely still positive if he is. And he got sick before me. So anyway, we both have it. We're in the throes. But it's bad, but it's actually better than I thought because I didn't at least lose my taste. That's what I was the most worried about because, like, food is my life, and drinks are my life, and if I can't taste, the world is over for me, especially around fall time. So anyway, at least I can taste. That is the good news, and I've got you guys cheering me up with your comments. So if you guys have read any of these books that I talked about today, if you're going to join in with the amulet, comment any of that below. Once again, thank you for those Robert McCammon books. That was so sweet. To Hunter, I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Halloween goodies, because I know I enjoyed buying them, and there's gonna be more hauls because I just bought a shitload of stuff. Because I've been sick, I kind of went crazy on Etsy and online. I bought tons of Halloween earrings, I bought tons of horror movie posters, blah blah blah. I'm blaming it on COVID. Everything is COVID's fault. So anyway, it is what it is. At least it's, you know, making me feel more alive and less sick. That's my excuse. Alright guys, but for this time, that is it for me. Till next time, you guys know what you can do. Keep on killing it. Bye guys!